You ever just sit there at night with your headset and your screen dimmed, and suddenly you start thinking about how much stuff's changed? Like, for example, the things you used to love, and the games you poured hours into, the sport that once felt like it was your identity, was one day. That one hobby that, you felt like it was a lifeline, and then one day, it's just gone. And it's not in some dramatic way, it's not like someone ripped it out of your hands. It's quieter. It's like, it's still there, but it's barely alive, and you don't even remember when it started fading away. And I think about it sometimes with games, right? Like, I remember rushing home, dropping my bag, and just booting up my Xbox, right? And I'd get lost in it for hours. Like, time didn't even exist back then. I could live in that split-screen Minecraft world with my friends for eternity, and now I don't even log in. I just stare at the screen, maybe sometimes tweak some settings, and try to get that feeling back, but it's gone. And it's not that the game's become worse, or the mechanics changed, or the devs ruined it. It's me, I changed. And it's almost like grief in a weird way. It's not grief for a person, but for a version of yourself that doesn't exist anymore. The kid who was so excited, so ready, who didn't need motivation, didn't need some big reason to play, he just did. And now it's like you're stuck with memory of that, and it feels unreachable, because when we talk about nostalgia and going back to those moments and how everything was better before, it's not that the game was better. It's not that whatever you were doing in the game was better. It's you, who you're surrounded with, and how you felt during those moments that was better. And I felt like that with more than just games. And for me, it was water polo, a sport that, nobody really talks about. But 4 years, man. Like any other sport, I was good at it too. Put in the hours, won games, made it a huge part of who I was. And then one day, I just quit. And it wasn't because I suddenly started hating it, or I couldn't keep up with school or whatever, but because it felt right. And it's like I reached the end of that chapter, if you know what I'm saying. And same thing with guitar. It's like a hobby of mine. I picked it up, I got into it, I started playing pretty well, and then I let it slip out of my hands. And recently I've gone back to guitar, but, it's not the same. And I think that's the theme with me overall. I started drifting away from things I once held close. Not in some dramatic crash, but in this quiet fade, where I wake up one day and I realize I'm not the same person anymore. I think the same thing happens with sports too. Maybe you were the kid who lived at practice. First one there, last one out. Couldn't imagine missing a single game, a single moment. You treasured everything that went on at that sport. And now, you lace up your shoes and it feels heavy. Like you're driving yourself somewhere you used to run toward. Or hobbies, like drawing, making music, building things. You hit that wall where it doesn't feel the same anymore. And everyone tells you that it's normal. Because yes, passions fade, we change, we grow older. But it doesn't stop from hurting, because it's not just about the thing you did, it's about that feeling that I talked about. The escape, the excitement, the sense that time doesn't matter, because you were fully alive. And when that's gone, when you lose that, it's like you lose a piece of yourself. But I don't think it's gone forever. I think passion's more like waves. It comes and it goes, and it sometimes leaves you stranded on the shore. But then out of nowhere, months later, it comes rushing back in. You pick up the controller, or the ball, or the guitar, and for just a second, it feels like it used to. Maybe that's the point. Maybe passion isn't permanent. Maybe it's supposed to change. Maybe it's supposed to move with you as you grow. The stuff you loved at 13 isn't going to carry you at 18, and what moves you at 18 might not be what drives you at 25, and that goes for friends too. You change, your friends change, and everyone around you changes as well. And yeah, it's kind of sad. Change is never easy to come by, but it's also proof that you're alive. Proof that you and the people around you aren't stuck in one place. Sometimes I think nostalgia, it hits harder than the thing itself ever did. Like I'll think back to summer nights and March break, where I was playing a game with friends, or staying late at practice, or even just sitting around and practicing guitar and writing notes until 2 a.m., 3 a.m. And it's not even about the activity that I was doing. It's just the moment, the vibe, the way it felt to be that version of myself. Maybe that's why it hurts so much when passion fades. Because what we're really mourning isn't the game, the sport, the hobby. We're mourning who we were when we loved it. And I guess that's okay, because your life's a series of these little chapters. You close one, another one opens, and you don't always notice the page turning until way later when you're looking back. Yeah, maybe you'll never feel the exact same spark you did when you were younger, but maybe something new is waiting right around the corner, and maybe you'll miss it. Maybe you skip over these nowadays because you've developed the idea that nostalgia is something you can always look back on. So if you're sitting there wondering why you don't feel the same way anymore, don't even beat yourself up. You didn't lose it forever. You're just in between chapters. You'll find something again, or maybe you'll even circle back to the old thing, because nostalgia means you lived a beautiful life, one that mattered. That means you lived it fully, and that's kind of crazy and insane in its own way.